Midweek Live. Coach, how's it going? There you go. New intro for you.
I like it, man. That looked really good. That was awesome.
It took me a while to learn how to do it, but now we got an intro. Now I got to figure out an outro, too.
No, that looked great, man. That was legit.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it took me a couple of days to figure it out, but this old dog can learn new tricks.
Oh, you got a lot of tricks up your sleeve, man. You just getting started, brother. We just getting in this technology stuff. We just getting started.
Well, it's Midweek Live with the coach and AD from the Karl DeMasi Sports Board. Heard every Saturday morning from the Sound Garden at Coach's Corner. We'll be back there. We'll let you know who we got coming on. We're going to give you a little tease. But right now, Chad, you're close to the situation. Georgia High School State Association. What's going on? We hear we're going to maybe go back June 1st. Now we hear maybe July 1st. Now we hear football is going to have a staggered start. What's going on?
Yeah, I think they're all, it's like when this whole thing started, it was such a fluid situation from day to day. And that's what we're looking at now. It's day to day from that standpoint, trying to get some food delivered here.
I got it.
And so that's kind of the deal. So a couple things. He was on a podcast with two athletic directors. It's called Hanging with the AD out of Metro Atlanta. So
Yeah, have a good one, man.
A lot of thanks to Texas Roadhouse being our official sponsor tonight. Delivering some food to the Griffin household.
Hey, you got to eat something.
Got to eat something, man. And so, they talked about asking him just like that, a staggered start. And he realizes and understands with all the protocols and all the work that Georgia High School has put in dealing with heat that you can't just rush these student athletes back. He was very similar as he was with us, but even a little bit more cautious from that perspective. He was asked, hey, what would you advise coaches to be doing? And he basically said, hey, start a staggered plan of getting your student athletes back acclimated to heat. He's really hoping that we can do some sort of, activities in June. I think we're going to learn a lot in the next 2 weeks, like he said, where we might be able to stagger stuff by mid-June. What Governor Kemp came out with yesterday would allow us, I think June 13th, maybe to start having groups of 10 or more. So it'd be interesting if they say, go ahead and do it with 10 or less. And so, and then the other big thing, Karl, with us, he talked about making the physicals to where, hey, you're going to have a new physical to participate. Well, that was brought up again, and he was like, well, their legal team obviously is investigating letting the current physical exist until the first official day of practice, which would be July 25th. So that would get everybody basically all summer. All right, but you had to have a current physical. So if you're a new kid coming in and you don't have a physical, you're still got to get one. So he wasn't saying, hey, it's just conch block. Hey, everybody just come out and play. If you have a current physical, hey, we're going to hopefully let that go until July 25th. If you don't have a current physical, then you're going to have one to participate. So it's going to be a lot of research on the coaches, on your athletic trainers to really evaluate rosters about who has what, and which I think is big. It just gives us a little bit more time to get kids in there because, as well as that, some places you can't get into the doctor to have a physical right now. That's not what they want. And then obviously mass physicals. But he did say one thing that was interesting. He said there are some schools in Atlanta that that he knows of currently that are doing mass physicals, but they're only bringing kids in 8 at a time.
Right.
So, I thought that was interesting to see that, I kind of pushed fast forward on that and emailed our athletic trainer and said, hey, what do you think about this? This is what Dr. Hines said today that some schools are doing. Could we maybe start that process and bring 8 in a time? I mean, it would be a long day. You might have to do it over a couple of days, but it's something to really think about.
Well, I was talking to Tim Jordan, the elder statesman athletic director now. Well, now Kevin Brown still got the upper hand on him. But he said, Coach, what am I going to do with my kids? That's how we get the kids done. They come in for a mass physical, and, we have to get them done the right way. And I think that's been the biggest issue that schools like Savannah High and Beach, they got to bring the kids in to do this, and you just can't do that mass physical stuff.
Well, also, I mean, only group I heard of that is doing mass physicals, that have talked about doing mass physicals, is Candler. So I'm not sure what's going on with the public schools in Chatham or Memorial, but Candler is the only group I've heard of. That's who we were going to use to do mass physicals. So Optum is not doing it because of Senate Bill 60 last year doing a cardiac. They just didn't want to get involved in it. So yeah, it's but that's something that we can talk to Kevin and others about. That Dr. Hines said schools were bringing them in and doing it. They're just doing it 8 at a time and staggering them like, an hour to do it. Right. This group will have an hour. The next group, I know that's tedious, but it might be what we have to do.
Well, we just got to hope that nobody does the wrong thing, because, in today's society, one little mistake, you're negligent, 1% negligent, it's going to cost you dearly. Yeah,
I mean, that's the whole thing. And especially as these kids have been really sheltered in place since March. And, maybe half of them's been outside, half of them's been doing work. But, the realization is that intensity after the first 3 or 4 weeks, it probably curtailed off for most of them. I'm not saying all of them. I'm sure there's kids out there putting in work every day. But you also got to think there's probably groups that are not. And so those are the kids that you really, get them back outside. Obviously it's going to be hotter in June or July. One of the things he really talked about was making sure your coaches, athletic trainers, had strength conditioning guys had a plan in place to staff these guys and get your student athletes back in condition. Like, come out there day one and it's like, it's not smart. Make sure your things out to the level. So when it's those things, it makes you feel like we're great we originally thought.
Yeah, you're breaking up, and the phone's breaking up too, Chad. So I know you're trying to get home with dinner. So so
that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Nope, now I can't hear you. Yeah, it just keeps on breaking up.
Well, let me get over here and see if we can get back together.
Yeah, from what I was understanding, trying to read what the football teams are going to have to do, they're going to have to do, of course, 5 days getting acclimated with a helmet, shirts, and shorts, and then another 8 days with helmet, shirts, and shorts, and shoulder pads. So, and then of course after that they can go 5 days with full pads and go from there. Was that how it was broken down? That's how you perceive it?
Well, that is not official. That came from the newly formed Georgia Football Coaches Association, and that's not gospel by any means. And so that didn't from Georgia High School, and Dr. Hines made note of that because that was brought up today as well. He's like, hey, those are recommendations. We're listening to every recommendation. He was pretty funny. He goes, trust me, everybody's got an opinion. They've let us know about it. Now, the one interesting thing, the one interesting thing he did say today, Carl, is he was asked about joining associations because there's been, of course, plan to push back the start season maybe till September 11th. And the question was asked, well, how does that work with everybody else? Well, state associations are part of districts. So Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, North Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana are all part of a district. So they could theoretically, he said, come out and say, hey, we're going to start football on this certain date. Then they could theoretically do it by district and say, hey, we're all going to start on this date, especially from a football perspective, because a lot of teams in Georgia play teams from other states.
All right, so we'll recap this quick before we tease Saturday's show, because I know you want to get home with that food. But once again, possibility June 13th that teams can go out there and start working with their kids, right?
Possibility. I think that's going to be really up to the governor and what the next couple of weeks look like. If numbers continue to decline on new cases, then I think everybody feels safe. But he talked today specifically about He's getting his information from CDC, from University of Georgia as well, their athletic training staff, because you got so many people around you in the state of Georgia that can give you information that is accurate information. So they're in contacts every single day with those two groups about what is the safety look like, and working on protocols when back. It's not going to say, here guys, here you go. Georgia High School is going to put some protocols in place for you.
All right, and then of course July 25th might be when we start, so we'll see what happens with that. Okay, Saturday show, our first guest from Fife Therapy, Dr. Stuart Fife, doctor of physical therapy, great guy. He's been in Savannah for almost 25 years. He just got certified. He's the only person in the state of Georgia, or doctor, that can teach other people the right procedures on concussion awareness. I couldn't believe it, but he's going to tell us about that Saturday.
Yeah, that's going to be unbelievable, especially in this day and time with youth sports. I have a lot of, I'm obviously going to ask him about what his thoughts are on youth football, what age maybe he thinks people should start tackle football, and the impact of that, because obviously he's had to do a lot of studies on that. So that's going to be a great way to get him involved and get his thoughts on it. And
then our Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week is coming from Woodville Tompkins. This young man had a stellar career over there at Woodville Tompkins, the Wolverines, signed to go play at Catawba. You know that very well. Division II school, or is it Division I?
No, it's Division II school. I think they play in the Carolinas Conference up there. And great school, beautiful place in Salisbury where Catawba is. And he'll up there. It's just a great area. It's a great community. The community is a little college town community, and the community comes out for all their stuff, where it's football, basketball, baseball. It's a great community.
And then we'll wind it up with the head Tiger. I like to call him the Tiger man himself. The head coach from Savannah State, Sean Quinn's going to come on and tell us about what's going on over there with the schedule, with Florida Tech losing their program, what they look like. Maybe a big possibility playing the Blazers out of Valdosta State. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome, man. That place would be, especially if it's a home game, that place would be rocking, man. You got a lot of Savannah kids in Valdosta as well that play for that Valdosta State. So that would be a great matchup for the Tigers.
You just broke up there again, sir.
Sorry, man. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're good. Okay. I know you got to get home. I know the internet connection over in that area of town isn't very good. So once again, look forward to Saturday morning, and it's going to be live out of the Sound Garden at Coach's Corner, the Coach and AD. Be safe, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, Friday.
I'm looking forward to noon on Saturday. Is what I'm looking forward to, Carl. Is noon on Saturday. You got to tease that, Carl.
Noon on Saturday, the coach, right here, yours truly, will be at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering. I'll be making some Zeppolis. That's an Italian donut, 5 for $5. All proceeds will go towards the Second Harvest Food Bank of Coastal Georgia. They're trying to raise $150,000. I think they're already past $100,000 to match the donation they got. So that'll give them $300,000 so they can go buy more food for their drive-through food pickups. It's a great cause. And maybe I'll get a little an Italian apron and I'll look cute over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We'll be videoing that for sure. I'm going to put that on my Twitter, your Facebook, whatever. Do that. That's going to be live.
All right, Chad. Be safe, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And once again, look forward to Saturday, the show, and making Zeppolis. You know what I mean?
You got it, brother. Take care, man.
Bada bing, bada boom, buddy.
Capiche?
Yeah, bad connection over there in town. He was over there getting his dinner. He was supposed to get it by 6:30, 6:45. He still hadn't got it, but he's got it now, and he was way home, so he pulled over so he can get a better connection. And, Chad's a great guy, and he loves sports. And you want anybody in this town that knows what's going on with Georgia High School, you got to talk to Chad Griffin, the AD out of Calvary Day School. Like I said, our lineup will be at 9:15 with Dr. Stuart Fife out of Fife Therapy, talking about football and concussions. He just got certified. I mean, and he's got a good deal for all the coaches out there, and he's going to pay for it out of his own pocket. So I'm going to tease you on that one. And then we'll go with the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week out of Woodville Tompkins High School. Okay, that's Bernard Pelote going to Catawba, full scholarship, Division II school, and then we'll wound it up talking a little Savannah State Tigers. It's the only local college football program here in Savannah that we need to talk about what the Tigers are going to do, because Florida Tech, their first game of the season, dropped their football program. 120 players, a bunch of coaches don't have a job, don't have a place to play football, so we'll see what happens with that. It's all going to be on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, the coach of the AD, and it'll be, once again, out of the Sound Garden from Coach's Corner, John Henderson, great guy, letting us do it. I'm really, it's a great place to do it every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. It'll be Facebook Live, YouTube Live on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, and on Twitter Live at KD Sports. Okay, so until the weekend, may be your best weekend up until that point. I hope everything's going well. Stay safe, wash those hands, keep a safe distance, and I'll talk to you on Saturday.